Oh.
In a recent interview, director Zack Snyder talked a little about the influence the graphic novel The Dark Knight Returns would have on the upcoming Batman vs. Superman movie set to hit AMC Theatres on May 6th, 2016. Snyder revealed the following. The comic book will influence the history of Batman vs. Superman, on which the writer, David S. Goyer, and myself will work. Ben brings an interesting counterweight to the performance of Henry in the role of Superman. He has the experience necessary to paint the picture of an older and more advised man than Clark Kent, who bears the scars of a seasoned vigilante while retaining the charm that Bruce Wayne deploys when present in the world. John, buy or sell the idea of The Dark Knight Returns being the foundation of Batman vs. Superman?
Yeah, I heard them once use the phrase building blocks. And when you think about that, when you look at The Dark Knight Returns, if you've read it, how on earth? Like, how is that and this is my theory. Here's my theory. I'm going to throw it out there, and maybe it's completely, I'm not even sure I buy it, but here's my theory about where we're going to get some influence from there. I have a feeling when they're talking about an older, more seasoned Batman, I'm going to bet that Ben Affleck's Batman has been retired for like 5 years already. Retired. Now, in the comic book, it's the Mutants, the name of the gang. If you haven't read it, go read it. It's my favorite single-shot graphic novel of all time. But the mutants are rising up, pose a huge threat to the city, and that's what lures Batman out of retirement. And granted, he's in his 60s at this point, but I have a feeling their building block is going to be that Batman has been retired since maybe he was 35. So he's been out of the game for like 5 years, but now what he perceives as this new threat to the world, being Superman, that may be what brings him out of retirement, and maybe that's the connection? I'm stretching here. I'm really stretching. Jeremy, what do you think?
I think it's great that The Dark Knight Returns is the foundation for what they're making a Justice League movie on, because that makes complete sense for me. No, I'm with you, though. The Dark Knight Returns is my favorite graphic novel. It's phenomenal. But I don't think we're talking about the same movie anymore. You know what I mean? When I first heard that, and I heard Dark Knight Returns, the next Superman movie, I was so jacked for it. And at this point, we're either talking about a completely separate movie, or it's the movie is just altered into something completely different. I like it. I like the fact that The Dark Knight Returns has any influence on the new Superman movie, but I don't see how it does for the Justice League.
Yeah, you know, and the thing was too is that they actually it seems like they've been doing this for a while, because at Comic-Con, when they announced this, they quoted.
They read right from it.
They read right from it. So it seems like they always have been wanting to do that. But I agree with Jeremy in the fact that I think that if we still were going off the Nolan version, the trilogy, you'd probably have an easier way to set that tone. But what you've done now and plus there's so much coming at us with Wonder Woman and now Lex Luthor and all this stuff happened too. How they combine all that with this, I don't know how they're going to do it.
Yeah, The Dark Knight Returns, I'm not a strong reader, but everything that I've heard about this story, just getting to see Batman and Superman, I think when you really get into the minutiae of all this, you can kind of see. You want to see the forest for the trees, too. We get to see Batman and Superman together based on this story. And even though it may not be the Superman sequel that we thought we were going to get, I'm cool with that because I didn't really love the Man of Steel that much. If that's all we get with a Superman movie, we're going to need some other characters in there. So as the foundation, the building blocks, the Legos, if you will, for this story, I think it's great. I think it's the perfect call.
If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to AMC Movie News on YouTube. It's free and a great way to stay updated with all the latest movie news and check out our daily show, AMC Movie Talk. Also, don't forget to check us out on Facebook and Twitter to stay in the loop for our special prizes, giveaways, and contests.